Have you ever wondered how potatoes are transformed into cereal? It's a journey that starts in a humble field and ends in your breakfast bowl. It's a process of cultivation, careful storage, and meticulous processing. From the farmer's careful nurturing of the crop, to the intricate processes in the factory where potatoes are cleaned, cut, cooked, and eventually turned into the cereal you know and love. So, buckle up as we embark on this fascinating journey. Stay tuned to learn more about this fascinating process. The journey begins in the field, where farmers plant and cultivate potatoes. This process starts with soil preparation, a crucial step to ensure the ground is rich and ready to support growth. Farmers usually add compost or manure to the soil, enhancing its fertility and providing the potatoes with the nutrients they need. Once the soil is prepared, it's time to plant the potato seeds, also known as seed potatoes. These are chunks of potatoes that contain eyes or buds, which sprout into new plants. The seeds are planted in rows, with adequate space in between to allow the plants to grow and spread. After planting, the real work of nurturing the crop begins. This involves regular watering, especially during dry spells, to keep the plants hydrated and help them grow. But watering isn't the only task. Farmers also fertilize the crops to provide additional nutrients and carry out pest control measures to protect the plants from insects and diseases. Then comes the waiting game. Depending on the variety, potatoes typically reach maturity after 90 to 120 days. During this time, the plants grow and develop, the flowers bloom, and then the potatoes form beneath the soil. When the plants begin to die back, it's a signal that the potatoes are ready for harvesting. Farmers dig up the potatoes, being careful not to damage them. Harvesting usually happens in dry weather to prevent the potatoes from getting wet, which could lead to spoilage. Once harvested, these potatoes are ready for the next stage of their journey. They have grown from tiny seeds into full-fledged potatoes, packed with nutrients, and ready to be transformed into delicious and healthy cereal. But before that can happen, there are several more steps to go through. So, stay tuned as we delve deeper into this fascinating process. From the field to the kitchen, the journey of a potato is a remarkable one, and we're just getting started. After harvesting, the potatoes begin their journey to the processing plant. Their transportation may seem like a simple task, but it's a vital link in the chain to ensure the potatoes reach their destination in the best possible condition. They're carefully loaded onto trucks, taking care to avoid damage that could lead to spoilage. Once they arrive at the processing plant, they're quickly moved to storage facilities. These storage facilities are more than just warehouses. They're climate-controlled environments designed to keep the potatoes fresh and prevent spoilage. The temperature is kept cool, typically around 4 degrees Celsius, while the humidity is controlled to prevent the potatoes from drying out. These conditions help to prolong the shelf life of the potatoes, maintaining their quality until they're ready for the next stage of the process. Now, the potatoes are ready for cleaning and sorting. The journey from the field to the cereal box is just beginning, and every step counts. At the processing plant, the first step is to clean and sort the potatoes. This is a crucial step in ensuring the quality of our cereal. Cleaning involves washing the potatoes thoroughly to get rid of any dirt and debris. This not only ensures cleanliness, but also helps to maintain the integrity of the potatoes during the subsequent steps in the process. Once clean, the potatoes are sorted. This involves inspecting each potato and removing those that are damaged, spoiled, or substandard in any way. This might seem like a tedious task, but it's essential to ensure that only the best, most nutritious potatoes make it into our cereal. The sorting process also categorizes potatoes by size. This helps in the following steps of peeling and cutting, as potatoes of similar sizes tend to cook at the same rate, allowing for a consistent texture in the final product. With all the dirt and damaged potatoes sorted out, it's time for peeling and cutting. Now comes the part where the potatoes lose their skin and take on a new shape. You see, peeling and cutting are essential stages in our potato to cereal transformation. Peeling does more than simply remove the skin. It also eliminates any residual dirt and potential contaminants. It's a bit like a potato spa day, minus the relaxing music and cucumber slices. Once we've tidied up our tubers, it's time for the cutting. This isn't a one-size-fits-all operation. The potatoes could be destined for a life as slices, dice, or even shreds, depending on the type of cereal we're making. Cutting isn't just about aesthetics, it's also a practical step. Smaller pieces cook faster and more evenly, ensuring our potatoes are ready for their next adventure without any hiccups. So there we have it, potatoes peeled to perfection and cut into the ideal size. These peeled and cut potatoes are now ready for cooking or parboiling. The next step in the process is to cook or parboil the potatoes. Now, you may be wondering why we need to cook or parboil the potatoes when we've already peeled and cut them. Well, it's all part of the process to get them ready for milling and eventually to transform them into cereal. Cooking or parboiling is an essential step that helps soften the potatoes, making them easier to mill. It's quite similar to how you'd prepare potatoes for a meal at home, except on a much larger scale. The potatoes are placed into large vats or steamers where they're cooked until they're just the right consistency. But it's not just about softening the potatoes. Cooking or parboiling also helps to retain the potatoes' nutrients. Potatoes are packed with essential vitamins and minerals, and we want to preserve as much of that goodness as possible. By parboiling, we're able to lock in those nutrients, ensuring they end up in the final cereal product. There's another advantage to this step too. Parboiling the potatoes reduces the cooking time in the following steps. It's a bit like giving the potatoes a head start, so they're ready and raring to go when it comes to the drying and milling stages. However, it's not as simple as just chucking the potatoes into a pot and boiling them. No, the process needs to be carefully controlled. The cooking time, the temperature, even the size of the potato pieces, all need to be just right to ensure the potatoes are perfectly prepared for the next stage. It's a delicate balance, but when done correctly, this step can significantly enhance the quality of the final cereal product. It's one of those behind-the-scenes processes that may seem trivial, but plays a pivotal role in transforming humble potatoes into your favorite breakfast cereal. With the potatoes softened, it's time to remove the moisture through drying. After cooking, it's time to dry the potatoes. Drying or dehydration is an essential step in transforming potatoes into cereal. This process involves reducing the moisture content of the potatoes to a level that prevents the growth of bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms that can cause spoilage. There are several ways to achieve this. The most common include air drying, vacuum drying, and freeze drying. In air drying, the potatoes are exposed to a current of warm air, which evaporates the moisture. Vacuum drying, on the other hand, uses a vacuum to lower the boiling point of water, making it easier to evaporate at lower temperatures. Freeze drying involves freezing the potatoes and then reducing the surrounding pressure to allow the frozen water to sublimate directly from solid to gas. Each of these methods has its advantages. Air drying is cost-effective and easy to implement, making it a popular choice for many producers. Vacuum drying is faster and can better preserve the nutritional properties of the potatoes. Freeze drying, while more expensive, can provide the highest quality in terms of nutrient preservation and texture. Regardless of the method used, the goal is the same: to reduce the moisture content of the potatoes to a safe level. This level typically lies between 2 to 6%, depending on the specific requirements of the cereal product being produced. Drying not only helps to preserve the potatoes and extend their shelf life, but it also plays a crucial role in the final texture of the cereal. By removing moisture, the potatoes become crisp and crunchy, a characteristic texture we often associate with cereal products. So, why is drying necessary? Simply put, it's about safety, preservation, and texture. It helps keep our cereal safe to consume, prolongs its shelf life, and contributes to that satisfying crunch we love. Now that the potatoes are dried, they're ready to be milled or ground. This next step will bring us closer to the final cereal product. So join us as we continue our journey from potato to cereal. The next step in the process is to mill or grind the potatoes. So, what does this milling or grinding process entail? Well, it's all about taking those dried, cooked potatoes and breaking them down into a much smaller, more manageable size. This is typically done using specialized machinery known as hammer mills or stone mills. These machines work by rapidly rotating a series of hammers or stones against the potatoes, effectively pulverizing them into a fine powder. This powder, also known as potato flour or meal, is what we'll be using as the base ingredient for our cereal. But why is milling or grinding necessary, you might ask? There are a few reasons for this. First, it ensures that the potatoes are in a format that can be easily mixed with other ingredients. It's much easier to combine a fine powder with other dry ingredients than it is to mix in larger chunks or slices of potato. Secondly, milling or grinding increases the surface area of the potatoes, which can enhance the flavor and texture of the final product. It also aids in the absorption of any additional ingredients that might be added to the cereal, such as sweeteners, flavors, or nutrients. Lastly, this process helps to ensure a consistent texture across the final product. By grinding the potatoes into a uniform size, we can avoid any unpleasant surprises like large, hard pieces in the cereal. Milling or grinding is a crucial step in transforming potatoes into a form suitable for cereal production. It's a process that requires careful attention to detail, as the quality and consistency of the potato flour or meal can greatly influence the taste and texture of the final product. And there you have it. With the potatoes now in powder form, they're ready to be mixed with other ingredients. But that's a topic for another time. For now, let's just appreciate the magic of milling and grinding and how it helps us turn humble potatoes into delicious, nutritious cereal. Now comes the part where the potato powder is combined with other ingredients to create the cereal blend. This stage in our journey from potato to cereal is called mixing and formulation. It's a crucial step that involves meticulous measurement and blending of ingredients, and it's where the magic truly starts to happen. The potato flour or meal that we obtained from milling is the star of the show, but it needs a supporting cast to really shine. This is where other ingredients come into play. Grains, sweeteners, flavors, and vitamins all join the mix, each playing a vital role in creating the desired taste, texture, and nutritional profile of the cereal. The process starts with a specific recipe, which outlines the exact measurements of each ingredient. This recipe is like a blueprint, guiding the formulation process and ensuring that each batch of cereal is consistent. Precision here is key. After all, a cereal that tastes slightly different each time you buy it wouldn't be very appealing, would it? Once the measurements are sorted, it's time to get mixing. Specialized equipment thoroughly incorporates the ingredients, ensuring a uniform distribution throughout the mixture. This step is vital to ensure that every spoonful of cereal you enjoy has the same delicious taste and nutritional content. But it's not just about taste and texture. This stage also involves rigorous quality control measures. The final blend must meet regulatory standards and consumer expectations. This means checking for things like contaminant levels and nutrient content, making sure that the cereal is not just tasty, but safe and healthy too. So, after all the careful measuring, mixing, and checking, we're left with a final product, the cereal blend. This blend is ready for the next stage of the process, where it will be transformed into the shapes and forms we're familiar with in our breakfast bowls. With the cereal blend ready, it's time for the final step, extrusion or cooking. The final step in the process is to shape and finalize the cereal product through extrusion or cooking. This phase is crucial as it dictates the final form, texture, and crunch that we all love in our breakfast cereals. In the extrusion process, the potato cereal blend is fed into an extruder, a machine that combines heat and pressure to cook and shape the cereal. The extruder works by forcing the blend through a shaped die, creating long tubes of cereal. These tubes are then cut into the desired lengths, creating those familiar cereal shapes. Extrusion is a quick and efficient method that ensures a uniform cook and helps lock in the flavors and nutrients of the cereal. Alternatively, the cereal blend can be cooked. This method involves spreading the blend onto large baking sheets and cooking it in an oven. The heat from the oven gradually cooks the cereal, giving it a light, crispy texture. This method allows for a more artisanal approach and can be used to create a variety of textures and flavors. Whether extruded or cooked, the cereal is then cooled and inspected for quality. Once it passes inspection, it's ready to be packaged and shipped to stores. This process ensures that every bite of your cereal is delicious, nutritious, and made from the humble potato. And there you have it. The journey from potato to cereal is complete.